Smart money habits. 5 habits to financial success. Have you ever wondered what makes some people very successful when it comes to their finances while others are really struggling? In this video, I had a chat with my good friend Mutuku, and we reviewed the book Smart Money Habits by Gladys Juma as she explains the 5 habits to financial success. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to Daniel Mutuku Show, where I help professionals become successful in their careers. And if this is your first time here, I would like to ask you, please subscribe to my channel, press the bell button so you can get to know each and every time I release a new video.
So to get us started off, could you tell us a little bit about the author, Gladys Juma?
Okay, Gladys Juma, the author of this book, is a very good friend of mine, and I have seen her as a very great authority when it comes to personal finance. She's well versed with the topic. She knows what people are actually suffering from when it comes to personal finance problems and issues, and she does a very good job in her coaching program, assisting people, and also her online courses and the books she has written. This is actually her 3rd book. She first wrote the book Managing Your Finances God's Way, and then she followed with a workbook for the said book, and yeah, now this 3rd book, Smart Money Habits, the 5 habits to financial success. As we talk about Gladys, I know she has inspired us, or she has given us a lot of wisdom from the different books. From these specific books, what would you, this specific book here, what would you say about it?
So Smart Money Habits really looks at the subject of people who are struggling financially and people who are financially successful. And Gladys poses the question, what is the difference between these two peoples? Why is it that there are people who struggle financially and others are financially successful? And after our own investigation, she found it came down to habits. Right. The habits that they adopt, the day-to-day habits that they have adopted, that are part of their own character, that are part of their own daily behaviors, that are part of their mindset. Right. And that's what she has shared in this book. And she found that there are 5 key habits that, if adopted, if taken up over a period of time, will definitely lead to financial success. And the way she has put them is she has put them in an acronym which she calls the NICER habits. So the first letter, which is the letter N, stands for noting. Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about the be noting habit?
Okay, I think she did a very good job coming out with that acronym NICER, and maybe I can take a step back and describe the book itself. I think this book is not just a personal finance kind of a book. It is a book that we can categorize it as self-development book. Correct. You can just replace every word where it talks about money or finances and replace with something like relationships, and it will give you the smart relationship habits. If you want to fix your health and fitness, just use the same acronym for NICER and replace the money with health. So it really works well. It's an overall kind of a book. But because she focuses on money, I think we can still narrow down to money. And when it comes to N, the noting, be noting, it's just a matter of you first to identify your baseline. You need to be able to note at what point are you when it comes to your finances. And you write down or note down what are your income sources, what are your expenses, how much are you able to save, do you have any debt, do you have passive income, or you only have working income. And really, as you do this exercise, when you're looking at your cash flow, your wealth statement, it gives you an idea of where you are at, and also brings a lot of awareness. Some things that you might have been taking for granted, but now they are brought to your awareness, and now you can consciously start making decisions based on what you are aware. Then once you have noted all these things down, the next letter there is I, inspecting. What can you tell us about inspecting?
So the be inspecting habit really centers on measuring and tracking. Yeah. So following on what you've taken note of, What are your cash flow? What are your cash flow? The money that you get or your income sources.
Yeah.
What are your outflows? What are your expenses? What's your net worth? What's your debt position? And then, of course, the goals that you've set. So inspecting is all about, once you've noted them down and you've set certain goals and aspirations that you want to achieve for a certain period of time, a year or so, then you need to inspect what your progress is of how you're progressing towards those goals.
Right.
And the habit of inspecting is about that. So you want to know, you want to track your expenses on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You want to track your own income sources. You want to track how you're improving on your net worth. Is your net worth growing or is it diminishing? Is your debt position increasing or are you lowering it? And this will help you make certain habits going forward. And to tie that in, I think there's this third habit which he calls the be correcting habit. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, once you have noted things down, noting, you just bring them to your awareness. Now you start inspecting and taking some action to really identify what needs to be done. And once you start identifying things that are not working for you, you start correcting. And that is where the second habit is. Actually, in the book, she says, be correcting, as teaching time saves 9. And that is very true. You will start correcting and realize, oh, this habit that I've been engaging in, going out every weekend, is not really working to help me be financially successful. Let me stop it, or let me reduce it to once a month. You also start correcting. There are several areas that you can correct on. Number one, you start thinking about how can I be able to earn more. So correct, put in some some strategies into place to ensure that you're able to earn more. Also, you can be able to correct on the savings. Are you really saving enough? Do you have a saving culture? Do you actually save after you have spent the money, or you actually put some money aside and then spend the rest? Yeah. Also, it gets you to start correcting when it comes to debt. Are you in debt? Do you have a plan to repay all your debt? What is something that you can be able to do to maybe fast track the idea of paying the debt and all that? So these are areas that you can really be able to correct. And I think also in the book, there's a bit here, she talks about some of the synonyms of correcting. It's about rectifying, putting right, setting it right, and putting some amendments to bring what is not working to start working. And once you've started done the correction, I think the next habit you need to put in place is engage. Be engaging. That is the A. Can you tell us about the engaging bit?
So the engaging habit, and I like the way she starts off with the title to this chapter.
Right.
It says, be engaging. Participate in your own success. Know what you own and know why you own it. I think a lot of what we've seen out there, mostly people are fairly passive in their investments. Yeah. Either it's the fear that this is an area that I don't know of and I know very little about. And it sort of intimidates them. Yeah. When you think of finances and money management, people are usually very much intimidated. You know, they don't know things about interest rates. Right. They probably get a certain amount of money they may have saved, get a stockbroker, push that money to them for them to make investments, for example, on the stock exchange. But they will not be engaging to understand, okay, which portfolios has this stockbroker invested in? Why did they invest in those stock portfolio? How did they make those choices? So be engaging is that aspect that you're not just passive about your investments, but you're well aware why certain choices or decisions were made. Why did you opt to do to go into real estate investment, get a house for rental income? Why? Is that the most effective investment that you could do? Maybe for $1 million shillings or so, you could have invested in a fairly lucrative business that gives you more recurring income, much more than what you'd get from real estate. Do you have to own a house or stay in a rented house? These are questions that people don't usually ask.
Yeah.
And that's what Gladys is admonishing all of us, that don't just dump your money, put it in a bank account, save it without knowing what that is doing to you. Probably instead of saving all the funds that you have, is you should consider investing part of that and maintain another portion for just rainy days. This kind of thing. So the be engaging aspect is you need to participate in your own success. If you decide to go into a certain investment option, try and understand a little bit, engage experts, but as you engage them, ask questions. You need to understand it.
Yeah, I'm also thinking of an idea is coming to my head. Would it be because people want to look at investment as passive income, and they take the same word passive and let it be, they're not going to engage, let it be just passive.
Forget about it.
Let it put the money there and money will come.
Probably. I guess that's but yeah, for you to be a prudent investor, you have to be an engaged investor.
Yeah. Let me bump in here for a minute and say, here at Career Point Solutions, we offer free CV review, and recently we started offering free career coaching sessions. If you'd like to take advantage of this free service, go to www.careerpoint.co.ke/CV review. There you will get a chance to submit your CV for a free review. Then one of our career coaches will give you a call just to discuss what are your career goals and how we can help you get there as you surpass your current challenges. Again, head over to careerpoint.co.ke/CV review. Let's continue with the interview.
The final habit in chapter 5 is the habit on be repeating.
Yeah.
What is this all about?
I really like the way she puts it, and just let me read. The chapter starts and she says, be repeating, do not reinvent the wheel. And a quote from Plato here is that there is no harm in repeating a good thing. Once you have, and I like this part a lot because it is the easy part. The difficult part is the noting, the inspecting, correcting, and engaging. But once you get it right, once you have streamlined all those things, what do? Rinse and repeat. There's no need for you to start reinventing the wheel and finding other ways to make maybe more money or save more. If you've already gotten what is working, keep repeating it. And the more you repeat it, the more you become better at it, and you can it becomes second nature to you. So I think it is very important for you, once you get the right thing, to keep on repeating. And it basically has some exercise that will allow you still to go back to the initial things. What did you note? Because we keep on improving the system. When you do it the first time, you will note something. When you do the second round, you'll start noting other things. You will start inspecting other things. You will engage at a different level. Probably the questions that you are asking your stockbroker would not be the same questions when you're doing it the second time around, because you're more knowledgeable and you can actually make wise decisions in that case.
Yes, that is quite good. So just rinse and repeat.
Yes.
So I must say, actually, Gladys has written a very engaging book, very easy to read, but much more very practical book.
Yeah.
From here, you can be able to apply what she has written here. You can be able to apply those habits. How can you become good in repeating? And she shares various tools that you can use to assess all the various variables in terms of your finances. Tell us, as we wrap up, what is the one thing that you took away from this book after reading this book?
Okay, I think in general, this book is able to bring to your awareness a very sensitive issue, and that is money. You cannot say you are fully successful if you haven't fixed your money problems. And money will end up affecting all the other aspects of your life. You will end up having relationships strive just because money issues have not been taken care of. You will end up having health issues, mental health issues, because you're so stressed about this, that, or you put some money somewhere and you lost it, or because it wasn't a prudent investment, it will still affect your relationship also with other people, your friends. If you're the guy who keeps on just borrowing money left, right, center, and you never pay, it will affect that. So as an antidote to like start fixing some areas in your life, even in your career, sometimes I've seen people who are working, but they are not working because they like it. It's because they're in debt, and even when they get that salary at the end of the month, it is not helping them. They feel like it comes in and disappears. So it might even affect your performance at work. So she has tackled a very key issue. Yes. I would really advise anyone who you're out there, you should be able to get this book, Smart Money Habits, the 5 Habits to Financial Success. And how can someone get to buy this book?
So the book is available on our website. If you go to gladysjuma.com, you'll be able to purchase it online. It only goes for 950 shillings only. So grab yourself a copy, and much more importantly, once you read, apply what you get out of it. It's a very important resource that you can rely on to ensure that you learn and adopt these essential habits to enable you to be financially successful.
Yeah, and I think you should have a personal copy, because it has areas where you fill in some exercise, and once you get your copy and it is of value, and you feel like there is a friend of yours or your spouse or your neighbor or your cousin would really benefit from this, instead of giving them your book where you have already filled in your stuff, get them a copy. So it's like a personal guide that you have that you can always be referring to. Also remember to take a look at this other video, how to apply for a job by email. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.